Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome back to another episode of Dish It with Dawn. I'm your host, Dawn Marie Mutell, the fashion mistress, taking the mystery out of fashion for those heart-centered entrepreneur women over 45, or anyone who really wants some inspiration and wants to look and feel their best. Well, today is Motivational Monday, from lost to boss, and I'm giving you these tips because I want you to start with some things that you may be thinking about that's going to help you move you in the right direction and keep you motivated so that you can achieve those big goals and dreams that you're looking to do, whether it's with business, whether it's personal, or anything in between. So, today we're going to talk about setting meaningful goals to regain some focus because we can't get anywhere without being focused, right? If you have that large dartboard in front of you and you go and you throw it, it's like if you don't have it someplace to figure out where you're going, you're going to end up nowhere. You're just going to go in circles making donuts, right? And that's not going to be good for you. So, in order to get clarity and get focused, it can help you move forward and where you want to go that much quicker. So, step number one is to identify one area in your life that you may feel a little bit stuck. Get out your journal and write it down. Okay. Maybe it's feeling like, you feel like you're always cleaning the house and you just can't ever seem to get above it. Or, you always find yourself shopping all the time for food and then you turn around and everything's got to get replenished again. So, if it's something like that, then you know that maybe something you need to do is to have um, replenishing so that you can through Amazon and Whole Foods. Sometimes you can order these things and they'll come on monthly replenishing or however often you need it to have it sent to you. But it may stop you from having to constantly go to the store and get the same things over and over again. Or maybe you keep forgetting that, I forgot the peanut butter, I forgot the jellies. Maybe you have to have a master list created so that every time you go to the supermarket, you have what you need and you check it before you go out the house so you know exactly what you need. Oh, you need eggs, you need juice, you need waters, what have you, toilet paper, tissue paper, paper towels. The list goes on and on. But step two is to create a single activity that you can do today to move you forward to getting that goal. So let's say you decide you want to go back to school. What would the first thing be? It means you have to go look at the schools you want to attend or look for the classes that you want to take, or if you know what kind of subjects you're looking to study, to do some research on it. So maybe that's your first step. Or maybe you just go into the campus to pick up a continuing education catalog, or you're going to, let's say you want to build a new wardrobe. Well, maybe it is you have to go through your closet and look at the old stuff you have in there to see what things you may need to bring in to create the new wardrobe. Because, why reinvent the wheel, right? So if something's already been done, try to find somebody who's been doing the things that you're looking to do so that you can follow in their footsteps so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel and just go based on what they're doing so that you can say, oh, you know what? They made it there really fast. How did they do that? Or they lost that weight pretty quickly. What did they do? See if you could reach out to them and ask them, how did you do this? Can you share it with me? If you go to the gym and you're working out next to somebody who's really buff and, she looks amazing and you're like, how the hell did she get those abs? Ask her, how did you get those abs? She'll tell you because people love to talk about themselves, right? So they'll be happy to help you. But find that one goal and activity that's going to excite you about that project, right? Because a lot of stuff we do is very mundane and it gets kind of like, oh, God, we dread the things we have to do sometimes. But when you find something that's exciting, it's like, oh, this is fun. Okay, this could be fun and exciting. And promise yourself that you're not going to do any overwhelming mega plans. Right here, I want you to start small, okay, on a small scale, because small steps equal large goals. So when you break things down into bite-sized pieces, like what's that expression Brian Tracy always said? How do you eat an elephant? It's one bite at a time, right? So you want to break them down into smaller goals, and the smaller they are, the easier they are to obtain. And the more you're going to stick to them because you can say, oh, I did that, check, I did that, check, I did that, check, I did that, check. And next thing you know, all those check marks are going to lead you into that bigger thing. Step number four is something I always talk about, and it's rewarding yourself for the things that you do, that you do do. Okay, because there's nothing worse than having something that you did that was really substantial, even if it was on the small scale, it still could have been a really big step for you to move forward on it. So treat yourself to something. Maybe you pick up your favorite magazine, or you go to your favorite bookstore if you can find them anymore, or you go get a cup of a cappuccino somewhere in your favorite cafe, or you sit outside in the park that you love to go sit at, or you go to a museum and you buy a ticket to your favorite exhibit. Whatever it might be, it doesn't have to be a big thing, but you have to do something to celebrate it. Okay. Promise me. Step number 5 is to just revisit it and readjust as necessary. So sometimes we had, do this, and this, but then it's like, we can't do this because we didn't do this first. So you may have to see the order of things that have to happen before you can move on to another thing. So that's why I like writing everything down into chunk-sized pieces, because let's say you're building a website, right? And you're building your website, but then you have no checkout cart. So how are they supposed to buy the thing you're selling if you don't have a checkout cart? So you have to make sure that all those little moving parts are in there. Like with the podcast, there's a lot of different moving parts. When for example, when I'm interviewing a guest, I have to make sure I have their bios and that I have looked and researched about them so that I have some idea what they're about. So when I talk to them, we know what to talk about, especially tailoring it to an audience that I may be having them listen to it. So I want to be able to ask questions that's going to be relatable to the people that I'm speaking to so that I'm not just wasting anybody's time. Mind the guest, the audience is listening. So without knowing that, I can't move forward. So think about those things when you're planning ahead, or you may say, "Oh, I want to do these things, but they're closed on Saturday, so I have to get it done on a weekday." Or they're closed after 5 p.m., so I can't reach out and make these phone calls at 7 o'clock because they won't be there. So you have to think about some of these things when you're planning stuff out. Because you may be thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that," but then you're like, "Oh shoot, they're not there." I can't do it now. And that's all I'm going to leave you with today, because I want you to start to get really focused and clear on what it is that you're trying to get done, how you're going to get it done, when you're going to get it done. And every little action you put down, just put a date next to it so that you know, okay, I want to have this done by this date and this done by that date. So you can stay on target. And if you have to get one of those large calendars that you put up on the wall, that's even better, because then you can see it every day and you can say, okay, am I on track? Oh no, I'm 3 days behind. I better hurry up and catch up. It's like, in the bike races, everybody's like leaving you in the dust there. And you're like, oh shoot, I got to pedal a little bit faster, catch up. But don't be afraid to ask questions when you need it, get help when you need it, and try to find people, like I said, who've already done the thing that you're trying to do, and see how they did it. Whether you have to read their autobiography, or you have to do some online research about it, or if you have to, like, if you can shoot them, it says, contact me, you can shoot them a little question, I'm a student and I'm looking to do this. Can you help me? Because people do genuinely like to help others. It's actually more accessible than you think. Okay, because most people think, oh, I can't reach out to that person and ask them. They'll never ask me. But you know what? They all started with mentors down the line too. So don't be afraid to ask. We can't do everything ourselves. We all need help in every area that we do things in. So do not feel like, oh, I'm independent and I'm self-sufficient. I did that for many years, and it was just a real bummer because it really stressed me out. Instead of saying, oh, let me delegate this to this person, let me delegate that to that person. And they may not do it all the way you want them to do it, but maybe you train them the way you want them to do it, or it may be better than what you thought you could do. So have a little patience and persevere, and you'll get there. Trust me, you will get there. But if you sit on your laurels too long and you watch too many episodes of Netflix, or watch too much scrolling on your Instagram or your Facebook, then you're going to lose precious time. And as you hear me say once, and I'll say a million times, time is not to be wasted, squashed. It is a precious commodity, and you can't get it back. So, I like to book my time throughout my day. And I know, like, okay, even though I may have to do all these other things that it's going to take me away from something, and I can't hire out to do it, I have to do it myself. I try to get them done early in the day so that I can continue the rest of my day to try to get the stuff done that's more important because you want to move that needle forward, not backwards. Okay. All right. And if you haven't joined us over at the Facebook group where you post your comments, your questions, your stories, your accomplishments, or your challenges with a bunch of other women that are going through similar things, and we can all, lean on each other. Come on over to facebook.com/groups/ Dish It with Dawn, and I will see you inside. All right. Have a great week ahead. Remember to dish it out well and dish it out good, but make sure you're looking damn good when you do.